Greetings. This video is directly linked to the second video that we did in the series. It was entitled Clearance of Indigenous Vegetation. Now, clearing vegetation is one thing to understand, but did you know that not all plants can be cleared? That is, without a permit or a license. So in this video, we identify the applicable legislation, some of the protected plants, and we provide the contact details of the issuing authorities, both nationally and in Mpumalanga. Welcome. My name is Sean McGregor of ecoleges Environmental Consultants based in Mpumalanga, South Africa. And we're on a mission to empower all South Africans to protect their environment through the correct interpretation and application of our environmental legislation. So if you want to learn how our environmental law applies to you and how to avoid accidentally triggering a listed activity or water use, and therefore avoid potential prosecution or penalties, or if you simply want to increase the internal capacity of your company by increasing the knowledge and skills of your staff to make environmentally responsible decisions without having to rely solely on external consultants, then you will want to subscribe to this channel. You can subscribe by swiping your mouse over the logo to the bottom right-hand side of your screen. Please don't forget to click on the bell notification icon so that you can be notified the moment we upload a new video. And remember, these educational videos are for free, so we would sincerely appreciate your support by simply liking them. That way it'll help spread the message, but only if you or anyone you know can benefit from them. Thank you. So let's get started. We continue with the same series, most common recurring non-compliances. And the non-compliance explained in this video, or the title of this video, is Protected Plant Permitting. An often overlooked aspect of clearing indigenous vegetation and cause for unexpected project delays is the lack of planning for acquiring the required permits to remove protected or threatened plants. Threatened plants include indigenous species facing a high risk of extinction within the wild in the immediate to medium-term future. Protected plants also include indigenous species, but of high conservation value, which are of national importance or which require regulation to ensure that they are managed in an ecologically sustainable manner. Now, you may have also heard of the term plants of conservation importance or plants of conservation concern. Now, those include endemic, protected, and red data or threatened species. Now, there are generally three pieces of legislation to consider when determining if and or what permits are needed. Firstly, NEMBA, the National Environmental Management Biodiversity Act, Act number 10 of 2004. Then the NFA, or National Forest Act, Act number 84 of 1998. And finally, there'll be a provincial ordinance in Mpumalanga. It is the Mpumalanga Nature Conservation Act, Act number 10 of 1998. In terms of section 57(1), a person may not carry out a restricted activity involving a specimen of a listed threatened or protected species without a permit. The abbreviation is TOPS. Now, examples of restricted activities would involve collecting, gathering, plucking, picking parts, cutting, chopping off, uprooting, damaging or destroying. An amended critically endangered, vulnerable and protected species list was published in Government Notice 1187 on the 14th of December 2007. Now, a few examples of nationally protected plants contained or identified in that list would include some of the terrestrial orchids, Disa, some of the cycads and cephalatus, some euphorbias, and even devil's claw or pagophytum. Now, you can either submit the application form to the minister or the MEC responsible for environmental affairs within your province. You don't have a choice. It's determined by legislation as to whose jurisdiction it falls under. In the case of Mpumalanga, those powers have been delegated to the Mpumalanga Tourism and Parks Agency, or MTPA. So they are responsible for issuing the TOPS permit in this province when it doesn't fall under the jurisdiction of the minister. Irrespective, I suggest you send any queries, including for the contact details of the issuing authority within your province, to topspermits@environment.gov.za. Then there is the NFA, or National Forest Act, which protects trees only. In terms of section 15.1, no person may, amongst others, cut, disturb, damage, destroy, collect, remove or transport any protected tree except under a license or exemption granted by the minister to an applicant, and subject to such period and conditions as may be stipulated in that license. Now, a list of nationally protected trees has been published in Government Notice 635 of 2019, and a few examples include the baobab, Adansonia digitata, the leadwood Combretum imberbe, Sclerocarya birrea, that is the marula tree, apple leaf, Phalaenoptera violaceae, and wild teak or kiat, Pterocarpus angolensis. Now, you'll need to contact the officer handling applications in your area. So I do first recommend that you contact the National Department directly through their website. That is Finally, the last piece of legislation is a provincial ordinance, and in Mpumalanga, that is the Mpumalanga Nature Conservation Act. Now, that act prohibits activities pertaining to protected plants, including picking, possession and subsequent trade. So at first glance it appears that the plants are not protected in any way from a disturbance, damage or destruction. However, the definition of to pick includes to gather, to cut off, chop off, uproot, damage, to burn or to destroy in any manner. The protected plants are listed in Schedule 1 of that Act, and specially protected plants are listed in Schedule 12. Examples of protected plants include all aloe species, like this beautiful specimen of Aloe molothii right here in front of me. Other examples include all species of gladioli, orchid and Proteaceae. Examples of trees include Bohemia zaheri, or red ivory, Spirostachys africana, which is tamburti, and wild teak or kiat, Pterocarpus angolensis. A beautiful specimen is in front of me here. If you recall, this tree is also protected in terms of the National Forest Act, meaning you'll need to get a license in terms of that act and a permit in terms of MTPA, at least if you're clearing this particular tree in Mpumalanga, and that is the wild kiat or teak, Pterocarpus angolensis. Examples of specially protected trees are basically all species of cycad and cephalatus. Now, you'll need to visit their website, www.mtpa.nipas.co.za, and the NIPAS system will forward the applicant, that is you, directly to the relevant officer in charge of handling your application. And that concludes this video. We hope it was helpful, and thank you for watching. If you have joined the MP or Nkosi tiers of our membership program, then you will receive an additional video that actually guides you through the permit application process. We provide some additional information like expected timeframes and where to access the application forms. We also get to interview an officer at the Mpumalanga Tourism and Parks Agency who is responsible for issuing TOPS permits in the province, as well as the MTPA permit to pick protected plants. Otherwise, if you aren't a member yet, please check out our membership program. It is on Patreon. That link is in our YouTube banner. It's also on our website. Otherwise, if you're simply looking for an environmental consultant to help you with a once-off project, then you're welcome to visit our website. In the next video, down here to your bottom right, we actually veer away from the series most common occurring non-compliances to address a question that's been on the mind of many of our subscribers of late, and that is to clarify what is the edge of a watercourse, considering it has big implications on triggering certain water uses and listed activities. Otherwise, I also recommend that you visit the previous video that we took or made in the series. We looked at discharge and disposal of wastewater, particularly within the context of a single domestic household, and it proved to be quite insightful, particularly for those who would need to install an on-site package plant within a rural area, farming area or wildlife estate. Ladies and gentlemen, please subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to click on the bell notification icon so that you can be notified the moment we upload a new video. And please, if you did find value in it and you know of anyone else who can benefit, like it. It'll just help us so much. We sincerely appreciate the support, particularly to help spread the message. Thank you, keep strong, and God bless.